Hey guys, Zip 2001 here. Today we're in the bike cave. It's raining out. It's supposed to rain most of the day, so I'm not in the mood to get wet. So we're going to do a few things to the bike. We're actually going to take the Reynolds off. We're taking the Reynolds off the road bike so I can put my climbing wheels on so I can go play on some thigh burners in the Burg this week. And then we're also going to take the disc wheel off the single speed, switch it out, put the gears back on it, and put that on the TT bike, the Zip TT bike, which I'll be taking out tomorrow for a ride. First thing I do once I get the wheels off, the Reynolds off the road bike, is I've got to switch out the brake pads because these the blue brake pads are for carbon wheels, and then I will put the black pads back on for my Coles. These are my climbing wheels. So we're going to do that. But one thing I always do before I put the pads back on, I always check them out for any little particles that got stuck in the pads. And I don't know how close that is and what angle it is, but there's a few little pieces of debris. Usually it's from little pieces of steel belt off of tires, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those out because that helps wear the rim a little quicker. So we're going to get those out of there, change out the brake pads, then we'll pull off the back wheel, switch out the cassette on the other back wheel, and then we'll go over to the single speed and the TT bike. So what I'll do at different times is probably speed up this video in the end. But right now I'm just looking for any little particles that might dig into the wheels. This one has a few of them, huh? Oh, this one had 5 or 6 little pieces. Oh, it didn't pop out. There it is. All I did is, you can see, I backed out the screw, slid the new pads, well, the old pads in for the aluminum rim. Now it's time to tighten them up. Once I back the screw out, just push on. See, that's where when you push it all the way in, that's where the screw, when it goes in, that's what holds the brakes in. Oh. Voila. Now I'm just going to take my chain whip. I'm just going to put it on here like this. Adjustable. Like this. And then we're just going to... yeah, that was nothing. There you go. Just take it. I put it on after I put it on the wheel. And I'm sure if you've changed cogs out, you know how to do it. But if you don't, you can see right here. You can see where they get eaten a little bit, but they're not bad shape. You can see how big these are. Well, you always have one that's a little smaller. I'll do this. Let's see. You always have one a little bit smaller. Just wipe that down a little bit. La, la, la. You can see this one is a little bit skinnier. And you always have a key that's a little bit skinnier also on this. And that's what you're going to line up. And here it is, right here. Where my thumb is. That one right there. So it's just going to go like this. Bingo. Easy enough. Now I'm just going to I don't know why I got a burr there. Alright. So now what we're going to do, we got the cog all clean. We don't need the chain screw now to hold it back, because all we're going to do now is tighten this on. So, voila. That's it. Nothing special to it. Come on. I got a little burr on the end of this that I got to file down. You can see it right there. I got to file that down. I don't know how I got a burr on there, but all I did. So we're all golden there. All right. Off. And we're going to put, I'll leave the disc out. Yeah, I'll leave the disc out. Because I'm going to take and switch it off. I'm going to turn that back wheel into a single speed. Just reverse them, so. Easy enough. And you can see on the single speed, what I did originally, here's what was on it for dropouts. You can see it was a standard, and to make it a single speed, I wanted to be able to adjust it, because what I'll do is eventually I'll get some different size cogs, and I've got extra links so I can make it bigger or smaller. Right now I run a 5215, so I had some dropouts made. You can see that way it's track dropouts. Tell you what, you can find zip dropouts on eBay with some knuckleheads charging $300-400, maybe more, for a set of track dropouts. Guess what? If you have a local technical school, go to their machine shop, go with the design. Most likely they'll just charge you for the material. So any sucker that falls for that, that's what it is. You're a sucker. So don't. No, let's get this guy off. This is easy enough. Not rocket science on the single speed. Undo it. See, I can slide it forward. Voila, chain's off. And you're up. Bingo! Back wheel, so I'm going to switch them out. I'll let you sit here for a minute. La, 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 la. Let's get these cogs off. Same thing. I'm going to use the chain whip. Pair of pliers. Did I put it back in? Yes, I did. There we go, right there. I said, it's much easier just to put it on the floor. Put the chain whip in. Come on, baby. Can you see? Oh, I can't see. Oh, no. Got that out. Put a little bit of angle for me. There you go, buddy. because I know how it sits on the wheel. Here I've got my spaces a certain way, just so when I put it on, it keeps the chain straight. So I'm just going to keep that in a little pile right there. Same old. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, it's hard doing it way up this way. I love doing it on the floor. I'm used to doing it on the floor, I guess. So it just feels weird. Feels weird doing it up like this, but that's all right. Doing. And that was on tight. Spray with some degreaser and get that afterwards. This is my rag. That looks good. I can't even tell you how old these tri-spokes are. Man. Trying to think. Because this is my, I think my third third set of tri-spokes. Because I've got rid of several bikes that several of my older racing bikes that had tri-spokes on them too. I love them, man. As you can tell, I ride with them all the time. So, yeah, almost bulletproof, almost. Matter of fact, let me show you one. I just took this off the road this year, but I mean, I rode it for 2 years with this little. I was with a riding partner, and I had just did my pull, and he was doing a pull, and he wasn't paying attention on the pull, and you know, I was maybe 6 inches from his rear wheel, and I mean, I'm just focused on him, and he swerved. I mean, he made a quick swerve, and I just didn't react quick enough, and oh man, I blasted into this pothole. I mean, there's a mother of a pothole. Blew my tire. I couldn't tell you how I stayed up, but I did. But if you look real close, you can see the damage it did to the rim. Let's see if I can put it in the light a little bit. You can see right here. You can see where the rim is attached, the weld. You can see how it's a little off. All that is, it's not cooperating. Let me do this so you can see a little bit better. But I rode it like that, and I really have ridden it like that for 3 years, I think. With no other issues. It never got any worse than that. But you can see the line right there where it's cracked, and it's really along the bead. Like I said, I rode it for 3 more years. I just took it off this year. I was thinking maybe, I'll make it into something. Maybe a giant clock or something, I don't know. That's the only thing that's ever happened to these. And this one probably had, let's see, it was on the TT bike, so this had well over 20,000 miles before it got slammed. I mean, I said I hit that thing so hard, man. Oh, crazy. I said I don't know how I didn't go down. So, all right. I said we're going to turn this into the single speed now, and the disc into the regular one. So, same thing. Here, you don't have to really worry. I mean, you don't. The spaces don't have grooves on them. You don't have to worry about them. Just go on. Just go on and on. The only thing with the groove is this guy here. That was on top. So, like I said, you got the little small section. Find your slot. I'm blind. There it is. There it is. Voila. 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 Look it in there. There it is. Voila. Is now a single speed wheel. Chain. Best thing about the zip, putting the chain on and off on a single speed, you don't have to break it down. Okay. Take it out. You want to line it up. That you don't have with track dropouts. I'm just trying to line it up with the frame here. A little tighter, just trying to center that wheel. Yep. Chain is nice and straight. She is ready to roll. Good as new. All right, the zip is all set up. Sorry about that. I had a battery that wasn't fully charged, so I wasn't paying attention where the light was blinking. But it's back on. I just did a quick run through the gears. It's all set. I do run a this one I'm running a 1123, I believe it is, or 25 1125 54 5439 I got on there right now. But I tell you what, man, I absolutely love these bikes. I love the bikes, but I also love the brakes. For this bike, these brakes are incredible. That's the name of them. The adjustment on these are so fine-tuned. My little adjustment screw is right here for both sides, for one for each side. And all I have to do can see it, I'm not sure. User, I'm on the wrong side, so it's hard to see. And all I have to do is just turn this one way or another. The brake should go in and go out. And I really like to run my brakes tight, so you barely touch them and they're on. So I don't have much, you can see. And I can run them tighter if I want, or a little looser. But here's the adjustment for that side. And I always keep one of these in my bottle for adjustments. In case I get a flat, I've got to adjust it out a little bit so I can get the tire out. So. Repaired this yesterday, and holding strong, so it's ready to go back in. I've got 2 more. These are one from last year. I can't remember when the other one from. I only got one flat last year. This other one's been hanging for a while. So when I get a little extra time, I'll find where the hole is and repair them up. Here is this is a spare set of 650s. And you can see they're tubulars. They're both the same brand. I don't want to butcher their name. This one here I had covered over Bike Man for You and the Adventures of Douglas the Doogie, because the disc had a few little dings in it, but that took care of that. And like I said, my Reynolds, I'll probably keep them off for a couple of weeks because I want to do a lot of climbing in the Burg. Those are 700s, of course. Here's another 650. I've got some new 650 Ultra Gator Skin 23s. Why is it putting them on? Putting them on one of them because the 2 zips, this zip and a single speed zip, both 650s, and of course the Kestrel is 700s. So I do keep more of those around. And spare tubes, just took these brake pads off for the carbon Kestrels. A little repair kit. I've had this up here forever. As a matter of fact, I've given a bunch out to other guys that need them. I always keep, in my regular bike bag, I always keep 2 tubes. There's probably 5 or 6 air canisters in there. And tire levers, stuff like that. Only because I've run into people on the side of the road that don't even have a tube, patch kit or anything. I have no supplies to change a flat tire. And I'll just give them a tube, change their tire for them, show them, and then tell them to go to the bike shop and get some stuff. So I always carry, that's why I always carry a tube. And just my light maintenance stuff, some extra cogs, another derailleur, just little tools. I don't need a ton. There's my little few extra bike tools in there. My paint for my splash paint jobs. Some more bar tape for when this tape gets dirty. And hey, thanks Topher. That's me. Hey, thanks guys. This is my little shop.